Y'all, the full beat is everything. And welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a full glam on my beautiful client Tyranny. I'm going to be taking you guys through all of the steps of a full face. So let's get started. First, I like to wipe my client's face down with micellar water and a cotton round. I need to just cleanse the face and wipe it down, getting rid of all the excessive oils. Next, I'm going to be using a straight razor on her to get rid of her facial hair. If you're not really, used to razors, be very, very careful doing this. You want to be very light-handed and gentle. Also wear gloves. Gloves are my favorite thing to wear because I'm not touching my client directly on her face, especially cutting and trimming around her hair and leaving open areas on her face. It's not sanitary. Next, I'm going to go in with a lightweight moisturizer. This moisturizer is from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is going to hydrate her skin. You want to make sure that you're using a hydrating primer and a hydrating moisturizer on your clients with combination or dry skin. When they have oily skin that do not need hydration, please do not pack it on there because it's going to make their makeup very, very oily. Next, I'm going to be laying her brows down with the e.l.f. Brow Lift Gel. This Brow Lift Gel is to die for. Everybody needs it in their makeup kit. It gives that laminated, fluffy look. Next, I'm going to go with my primer spray from Skindinavia. Be sure to saturate your client's whole entire face. While the primer is drying down, I love to go in and color match my client. The two shades I'm using are from NARS, and they are iguacu and manaus. The color match is insane. I color match for their face and their neck to match, obviously, but a lot of the times you might have a client whose face might be lighter than her neck or vice versa. So you want to make sure that you're always matching the face to the neck. Also, another good tip is to use NARS as a foundation for everyone. I feel like this foundation is perfect for all skin tones, types, undertones, everything. I'm going to take a smaller foundation brush and just get around her edges in the smaller areas that I couldn't get to, because I never want to put a lot of makeup on the edges because it can be hard to get off in the end. Next, I'm going to start concealing her under eye. So concealing is different from brightening. Concealing is more natural and brightening is of course more bright. I am using Toofaced concealer in the shade Caramel. You also want to make sure that you are applying your concealer in an upward motion on the forehead. Now I'm going to repeat the same steps on the other side of her face. Now I'm going to start blending out her concealer. I recommend using your foundation tool to blend out the concealer. It will definitely tone down the concealer and also help with matching the face to the neck as well. Now I'm going to go in with her contour slash bronzer. The only difference between these two products is contour is cooler and bronzer is warmer. I love a good bronzer look on my clients. I hardly ever use contour if I'm being honest with you. I'm going in with the Juvias bronzer palette in the shades Deep Dark. And when I tell y'all this is a bronzer that every girl needs, it is a bronzer that every girl needs. Now I'm going to go in with Giorgio, Armani, and Huda Beauty blush, and I'm going to mix both of those together and then reinforce that contour as well and do the same on the other side of her face. Now I'm going to go in with my smaller brush and blend out the rest of that concealer. Now that I have let the concealer dry, it will be a little bit difficult to blend out the under eye, but that's good because we know that it will last longer when it's getting stuck. Now I'm going to go in and brighten. I'm going to be using Toofaced in the shade Latte. And as you can see, this shade is about 4 shades lighter than her foundation shade, and that is going to give her that filtered look. Now I'm going to contour her nose. So whenever you're contouring your nose, the easy trick to remember is use the very beginning of your client's or your brows. Using the beginning of your brows will give you that perfect guide down the top of your nose, so that way you are not contouring around your nose. You want to slim down your nose. That is the point of contouring, to make things appear to be smaller than they actually are. Now this is one of the best tricks of the trade. Use that powder puff to press in that brightening shade of your concealer because that will help with creasing. Now I'm going to go back over that brightening shade and reinforce my blush. Now I'm going to go back in with the same powder puff and start to set underneath my client's eyes. I'm going to be using the best powder in the game, which is that Huda Beauty setting powder in the shade Kunafa. Now I'm going to go back into my Juvia's Place bronzer palette, dark deep, and I'm going to be setting that bronzer into place. Do not use the setting powder that you use to set the face. It will make your client's face look very ashy. Now I'm going to go on my darker setting powder and I'm going to cut them cheeks, y'all. Not literally, of course, but with the powder. This is going to give you and your client's face a lifted look. Powder that I am using is Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in the shade Golden Orange. You also want to apply this darker setting powder on the nose to help carve out the nose and also set the nose into place. Since we are going for a brighter under eye and a filtered look, I'm going to be going in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. After I've done my baking powder, to give that airbrush look, I'm going to go in with a light brush and I'm going to apply powder blush. And this powder blush is going to be from Juvia's Place Volume 4 palette. Next, I'm going to take that lighter concealer shade. I'm going to carve out my client's brows. You want to make sure that you start at the arch to help carve them out and give you a perfect guide, and then work your way to the front and on top of your lid. Next, I'm going to take a light blending brush and I'm going to just buff out that concealer. To get rid of the harsh lines where the concealer and the contour meet, just go back in with your contour brush and just fix it. Now I'm going to go in with my powder and I'm going to set my client's lids in place with my darker powder. Now I'm going to go with my first eyeshadow shade. We are going for a nude smoky eye look with a pop of pink. So I'm going to go in with a brown shade that's more of a neutral shade. And this is going to be considered my transition shade. The shade I'm going in with is by the Chocolates by Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette in shade number 4. Now I'm going to take my transition shade and work it into my client's brows and also the contour as well. This will help give the nose more of a detailed look as well and also blend your products together. The next shade I'm going to go in with is going to be a nude shade out of the Chocolates palette by Juvia's Place, and this is going to be in the shade number 5. Now I'm using my cream eyeshadow to start a winged eye. And I am going in with the Greige Creamy Obsessions by Huda Beauty in shade 8. I wanted to go in with a soft winged eye due to her lashes being so long. I don't really like that black winged liner. I feel like it gives too much structure. But whenever you do like a dark brown winged eyeliner, it gives the look a softer look. Now I'm going to go in and set that cream eyeshadow with a powdered eyeshadow. I am mixing the shades In Deep and Mystic from the Morphe 35A palette. Now for her under eye, to give it more of a pigmented look because she is dark skinned, so you have to use a lighter concealer to bring out that color. I'm going to be going in with the shade Cloud from Toofaced. And lightly tap her under eye. You don't want to overdo the concealer. You want to use a very light amount, not where it gets very caked up. And then you want to set it into place. Now I am taking my 2 pink eyeshadow shades and I'm just going to lightly tap her under eye. You don't want to do it really harshly. Keep having a light hand because you don't want your client's eyes to water. These 2 shades are Bintou and Yanga from Juvia's Place Culture 2 palette. Then you want to take your bronzer shade and just buff out that color underneath her eyes. I have moved on to my favorite part. I'm going to be using a gel eyeliner. This is not a lip liner. Gel eyeliners are so much better. They glide on so smooth, and I feel like they last a lot longer on your client's lips. And this is going to be Ulta Beauty's gel liner in the shade Black Brown. Next, I'm going to take my nude lipstick and apply a generous amount to the bottom lip of my clients and tell her to pop her lips together. This is going to be in the shade Danity Daze from NYX Cosmetics. You want to make sure that you're telling your clients to pop their lips together because it definitely helps with allowing the lip combo to be more of an ombre effect versus doing it side to side. Next, I'm going to take my gloss from Huda Beauty in the shade Coco and apply it to her lip liner. Then I'm going to take my gloss from Juvias Cosmetics in the shade Pouty and apply it to the center of her lips. Next, I'm going to take my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Powder in the shade Cinnamon Bun and set her under eyes. Easy Bake Powder is not a loose powder, it is a solid powder, but it gives you that full coverage underneath your eyes. Now I'm going to go in with my NYX Cosmetics Brow Pomade. This is in the shade Espresso as well for her brows. Using a pomade just glides on so much better than a pencil. Now I'm going to take my small fluffy brush and just wipe away all the setting and baking powder. And for that last step, I'm going to be spraying my client's face down with the Skindinavia Makeup Setting Spray. This setting spray is bomb. Use it and saturate your face so you can have longevity makeup. Thank you guys so much for watching this makeup video, and until next time.